Nothing on the scoreboard, 0-0 as the offense gets ready to take over the football. On the ground, this is Jalen Richard. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. Give him 12 yards that time and an Oakland first down. That O-line, they cleared a big hole there on that run.
The athleticism of offensive lines continues to evolve, and we're seeing it here. Not only they're controlling things right at the line of scrimmage, but they're able to get upfield to get to what we call the second and the third levels. You know, get to linebacker spot, the secondary spot, getting all the way downfield with their blocking, which helps keep the running back clean.
They'll try to continue that trend here this afternoon. Able to power through. And he'll get this up to about the 40. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down. If these kinds of lanes are available, you have to feel like he's going to have a pretty big game on the ground.
Yeah, you can tell early on he's got a little burst in his step, and that's a big pickup right there on first down.
Now they try the right side here. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. He'll wind up losing 3. And now it's third down. So a look here at the key inactives, and we got this list before the game down on the field. And they tell us the same thing every time, don't they? Next man up.
No excuses. Be ready to play. That's the mantra of every organization. The key is having guys on the roster who are capable of filling in and playing at a high level. That's when you know you've drafted well, scouted free agents well, and stocked your team just the way you're supposed to.
They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up fourth down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Well, the Patriots gearing up to go now. So the football will be at the 25-yard line as this offense gets set to take over.
Watch it now, Barney. Here we go now. 3-19. No. Check. Patriot. No. Check. Patriot. Here we go now.
To throw is Cook on first down. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, David Harris. And nearly a touchdown as they finally stop him down at about the 3-yard line. And we drop you into the start of this next possession. The score, 7-0. The Raiders offense now, they trot back out. And still a lot of football to be played in this season. We're only in November. A lot can happen between now and January. But if it ended today, they would just be on the outside of the playoff picture looking in. So a lot to fight for.
Yeah, and wasn't it interesting in our meeting with the coaching staff that they all made sure to let us know, we know where we are right now, but the playoffs don't start tomorrow. We still got some time, and they plan on putting it together, formulating a streak, get the whole month of December still left to play. They think they can get in.
And they made it very obvious to us that there's no playoff talk in the locker room right now. It's win this game and look to next week.
Excellent focus.
Now Cook. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. He came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
Set. 3-19.
Cook off the play fake. And incomplete on the deep ball. Here's Marquette King now. On for his second punt. He'd take a repeat of his first. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. from Denver. Now, you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. Andy Dalton, an early touchdown pass in that one. While we have a minute, we remind you that later tonight we'll have a couple of NFC East rivals squaring off, the Eagles and the Cowboys from Big D.
Or Arlington. Got to make sure we get it right.
To be more precise there in the Metroplex. Then tomorrow night, Week 11, we'll wrap up with a playoff rematch from the divisional round a year ago, the Falcons and Seahawks, but this time from Seattle. Got to give some credit there defensively. They snuffed out that screen early on first down.
Really read it well, didn't they? Because they didn't bring the pressure that they expected. They covered all the passing lanes. So once you see it break down as the passer, I think in this situation, you're throwing it at the feet of your back to make sure no one picks it off, or you throw it away, throw it over the sideline. Don't try and freelance and try and make a bigger play. There's really no one else running a pattern that should be open.
The pickup goes for 16 and a Raider first down. Now a handoff looking right. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They get a nice push into their offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. Cook now, operating from the gun. Wide open, Amari Cooper. And a big 32-yard play on 3rd.
Thus far, it hasn't been a real fun half for them, but a play like that may get them off the schneid a little bit, get them loosened up and moving.
Kind of seems like they've been sleepwalking and still sitting on 0 points.
And it's not always making an adjustment. Sometimes it's just going back to what you know can work and finally getting it done.
Now a handoff here to his running back. Fighting his way down to about the 35-yard line. A minute 57 to go in this first half. We'll come back to Oakland after this. Coming up at halftime in a little less than 2 minutes, we'll send you to Orlando where Larry Ridley is standing by. He'll have highlights and analysis of this first half. Here's Cook to throw on second down. Now the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line. So following the fumble, this offense will get another shot at it as they quickly head back onto the field. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And 2 picks thrown here in this first half alone. We'll see how that affects him.
Can't wait to see where his confidence is, because the great ones, they'll throw 4 or 5 picks.
And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Devin McCourty picks it off. There he goes right side. And he will score. Touchdown, Patriots.
Partner, what we just saw, that's a great example of a team that was really amped up. They've been playing so well, yet they didn't get overexcited and have a bust on defense and gave up a big play. Instead, they created their own big play with a pick 6. This one may be over.
Yeah, it's just the first half, but that lead has swelled to the point where you're wondering if it is over already. So second quarter, this offense losing and hoping to get the football in the end zone for the first time. The Raider offense now making their way toward the huddle. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass, and then finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you got to do something to make it pass, and that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they'll set up with a 2nd and 1. Now Cook, off play action. And his throw is incomplete. Cordero Patterson, the one he was hoping to get it to. And it's 3rd and short.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. From the gun on 3rd down. Cook. And he finds Cook. And he's got the first down yardage before being taken down at midfield. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Devin McCourty picks it off. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. We haven't even escaped the first half, and he's already thrown 4 picks.
And Brandon, back in the good old days, probably back before you were born, if your starter threw 4 in the first half, he might throw 8 or more for the game because they weren't going to pull him out. But nowadays, the patience level isn't quite there. He's going to have to make some real adjustments, or the backup may see some time.
And an update from the game. This offense ready to get back out there as they'll have the football to start the 3rd quarter. Out comes the Raiders offense. They'll go on offense first to start quarter number 3. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution, or do they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they feel like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
But if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
Here we go now. Green,
To throw is Cook. To throw on 3rd down. The Pats are going to get there. Down he goes. And their inaugural sack of the game coming from an unlikely source.
You mean it wasn't a linebacker? It wasn't a defensive end?
It was somebody like you.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, that's a surprise for the offense. That's not what they normally get when they think about pressure.
On is the punter King to send it away. Cooks flashing the footwork. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Patriots take over. So the football will be at the 25-yard line as this offense gets set to take over. So out come the Raiders. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
Cook off the play fake. He finds an opening past the 40. On the crossing route, he hits his man, Amari Cooper. Solid gain of 18 and a Raider first down. So on that play, defense was in the zone. They ran a crossing route offensively, but the defense there, you got to be good with communication, don't you?
You certainly do, and it's not something that is really evident when you watch it on the screen. but everyone's talking, communicating, pointing, and it keeps you from chasing receivers because you have a specific zone you have to cover. When a receiver's in your zone and he crosses to another one, you got to let your guy know. They got a completion there, but I like the discipline they showed to stay in their proper areas and then make the tackle. One thing I have learned, receivers don't mind high throws so much to the sideline, but do that over the middle to them, and not only the DB's going to throw a little verbal trash their way, when they get back to the huddle, they're going to have a few words to say to their QB, aren't they?
Yeah, hung out to dry a little bit there on the high throw. Luckily fell incomplete. Cook now, off play action, looking deep in the direction of Cook. That's caught at the 25. We have played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. And this is a blowout. Fresh set of downs here. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. And they give this time to the tailback. And he'll at least get him inside the red zone here, down to about the 19. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
He'll get forward for 3 down to the 16-yard line. The Raiders on third down, 2 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 5.
Here we go now. Boom,
Off play action, Cook. And my goodness, another interception. Devin McCourty picks it off. And they get the football, but not much on the return here as he stopped at the 7-yard line. This offense struggling here in the second half. They have not scored yet. They'll try to change that here. Now the Oakland offense heading back onto the field to take over. And the interception thrown in the red zone last time. We'll see if they can rebound.
I just have to think the last thing he said is,
It got his man complete. An excellent pickup of 34 yards. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back. Those are the
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Defensive end gets in there that time. They were in a 4-3. What's the responsibility of the ends versus the tackles there, Charles?
Well, most of the time when you talk about the ends, they're your pass rushers. They're the guys that you turn loose to try and get to the guy who's going to throw the football. The tackles, usually more of the run-stuffing variety. But the way this game is advanced, you're wanting a little bit of everything out of all of your guys. But let's just go ahead and break it down and make it simple. The guy who's the right defensive end versus a right-handed quarterback, that's the blind side. He's going after the quarterback. He's going to put him on the ground.
And they almost had another one. They are all over the football in this game. Nearly another pick. Now 4th down. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And it's knocked away and incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. The storyline of this one, Charles, no doubt the number 0. Zilch, nada. A shutout so hard to do in the NFL.
It really is, and what an accomplishment, because you feel that not just on the defensive side, but as a full team. There's a lot of pride that goes into shutting out an opponent. And how about that 0 on the scoreboard for them, going along with those zeros in the time column, too.
So for the Patriots, the great run they've been on continues as they move to 9-1 now. And they'll return home next week to take on the Miami Dolphins. Meanwhile, for Oakland, it was a game they really needed as they drop back to 4-6. And they'll have a tough one at home next week.